my guest and my fellow Toastmasters. Today I'm talking about obstructive sleep apnea. Okay. And I will talk about the symptom, talk about what's the cause, and how to cure it. Okay. And the last time when I was here, I asked everybody, do you know apnea? I think Bob and Douglas area know. Do you know what apnea means?
No, I have no idea what's that mean.
Apnea, that means when the people sleep, they didn't breathe. They start to breathe, okay? Obstructive apnea, that means during the sleep, the air channel was blocked. Therefore, the people lack oxygen, and they cause all kinds of situation. I would say that's called symptoms. Okay. Now, I want to share with you what kind of symptom looks like. First symptom is a lot of people during the daytime, they were falling asleep. Okay, they are so tired. Okay, that's the first symptom. A lot of people have that. Maybe you watch TV, you fall asleep. I have a friend, he come home, he say whenever he come home, try to play with his children. He falling asleep on the carpet. Okay, that's what happened. And then the second symptom, most of the time is noticeable, is have the very loud snoring. It's a snore. Okay? And now, when you are young, most of the time you didn't notice, oh, the children don't snore. Then when we get older and older, then all of a sudden we start to snore. Okay? And then louder and louder. And then the third symptom is sometimes the people sleep there, all of a sudden the partner or the wife or the spouse or husband didn't hear this person breathe. Do not breathe. It's just stopped. Okay? And all of a sudden it does breathe again. Okay, that's another symptom. And then all of a sudden, wake up, and this kind of symptom come. Okay, have a breathe. And then, because look, if a person open their mouth to breathe, their mouth will be dry. So this one of the symptoms is that people wake up have dry mouth. And then some person, because the previous night they didn't sleep well, therefore he has headache in the head, for some reason headache. And then since the previous night didn't sleep well, this reason this person has a problem to concentrate or make a wrong judgment. Okay, that's difficult to concentrate during the daytime. Okay, then some people, when they're in the class, they fall asleep too. All kinds of symptoms. And then eighth one is they experience the mood change. Sometimes depression, very depressed. Okay? And or someone say something. For example, I say, Ho Min Li. I say tell you something, then you will be very upset. Okay? Because that's irritable. Because I say something, you feel upset. Easily trigger this kind of upset. And the ninth one is somebody have high blood pressure. High blood pressure is one of the symptoms. And then during the night, some person might have sweating. They wake up, they feel sweat. Okay? The last one, the 11th one is the last one. Do you remember last time I asked everybody the symptoms? I asked the Joy-Cons, I said I better don't ask you because the last one is, do you have sex? Do you have sex desire? And those people might have no sex desire when they have apnea. Okay? Then you will ask, what's the cause of that? Let me share with you what it looks like. Usually, when we breathe, we use our nose to breathe. Okay? That's normal. And usually, we close our mouth. Usually, we close the mouth during the sleep. So this reason I say, when children are young, most of the time, they don't have snore. To a certain point, they start to snore. Okay. Now, when the airway was blocked, obstructed, what happened is your brain, you don't, whenever you breathe, there's no air because it's closed. This reason your brain will ask you to open your mouth. That's the reason you start to open the mouth. That's what happened here. Okay? So this block, then you start to open your mouth to breathe. Now, when we open our mouth to breathe, what happened? Because this channel through the mouth to hear that easy making the noise, that's called snore. So you can hear the people have a big snore. That's the reason. Okay? That's the reason. So that's the symptom. That's symptom. Now, in addition, if this block and also this channel block, what happened? Although you are breathing, but actually there's no oxygen go to your lung to breathe. Right? There's no oxygen go to your lung to breathe. Therefore, your oxygen content will drop. Drop and drop. Sometimes the people stop to breathe. Sometimes they all of a sudden to breathe. That's the reason the previous symptom, the people might have all of a sudden breathe, okay, or have a sweat. Now, go back to the high blood pressure. What happened for the high blood pressure? Because your organ need oxygen as a burning, okay, then provide the energy for you to survive. If you do not have enough oxygen, what happens? If the channel blocked, then the oxygen content drop, right? Your brain, the first thing your brain say, ask your heart work hard, pump more blood to your body. This reason you start have a high blood pressure during the sleep. Okay? And then if you are to my age, you will hear some person die during the sleep because maybe the brain busted. Those kind of symptoms happens. Based on this kind of understanding why cause obstructive sleep apnea. That's the reason. Now I need to share with you why I interest this topic. And at the end of this seminar discussion, I want you to know if you have this symptom or your friends, your family have this kind of symptom, you need to suggest them to see a doctor. Then later on maybe to see the sleep doctor and maybe have equipment to be treated. Okay? It's different level. So at least you are aware. And then there's a cure for that. What happened? Last year, when I slept with someone else, okay, this person told me, Zhongjing, you snore so loud, I cannot sleep all night. I know that when like 30 years ago, Somebody told me, when we are in the same room, you snore. Nobody can sleep. Okay? It's okay for me, because I didn't hear it. I slept, didn't hear it. Then what happened is, about 5 to 6 months ago, I personally wake up around 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock every day. 3, 4, 3, 4. I say, what's going on? And then I feel my life is hopeless. Looks like hopeless. Okay? This reason, if you are in the Toastmaster with me, you'll keep going to hear what I said. I'm age 64 now. Okay? Then I talk to the people, say, people might have sudden death. You know what that's a symptom? That's a symptom called depression. I'm depressed. I do not know at that time. And also, I have no dream for about 30 years. Because one time I talked to a monk, high-rank monk, and I said, I have no dream. Then he said, because you don't think during the day, you don't think. That's the reason you have no dream. I said, oh, is that so? Based on this, when I see my primary doctor, I say I have these kind of things. Then she start to ask me questions. She say, during the day, do you sleep? Do you falling asleep when you watch TV? Okay, is it tired and lost memory, everything, and so on and so forth. Some of them I say yes, some of them I say no. Some of them I say yes, some of them I say no. Then she said, based on what you are describing, I suggest you to see the pulmonary doctor. That's the sleep doctor. I said, okay. Then I see this doctor, she had asked me to fill out all the forms, test on me, and she said, based on what you're telling me, I strongly suggest you do a sleeping test to monitor. I said, okay. Therefore, I went sleep lab to do the sleeping test. When the sleeping test came out, they called me, I meet another nurse practitioner for sleeping. She said, based on the data, I strongly suggest you to do a titration test. Titration test, that means will determine how much the pressure I need to use using the equipment. Okay, so I went to do a titration test. That's the titration test looks like. Okay, they put all kinds of wires on me, on the chest, on the brain, on the head, and monitor my movement on the cheeks, and on the heart, and on the legs, and monitor me whether I have movement. Then they have a videotape, so they tell me, dress, okay, because everybody see me. I say, okay. So they say if during the test something happens, they will come in to give me up. I say, okay. This one is to measure the oxygen content in my body. This one. On the finger, that's one. Measure the oxygen content. The rest of the wire to monitor it. And this one is very similar to this machine, okay, to provide the oxygen, the air to me. This speech, I did a research, okay, based on the manual of this instrument, how it works and so on. And then I did study the sleep apnea, the definition, that is a symptom, what's the cause, and breathe disorder, and then how to cure and so on. This is the references. So I have the machine last Thursday. Now, what the machine looks like. This is for real. this machine, okay? First of all, there is humidifier. So we can add water. Right now I didn't add water in, okay? And then I need to put this in. This nose cover my nose, so air can go into the nose, okay? And then I lay sleep as regular. Then I touch a button, then the air start to pump in me. You see, you hear the pump. But there is a hole, so excess air will come out from this front. So when I sleep, this will constantly give a pressure for me to breathe. Interesting. When I did the titration test, I have a dream now. That day, I have a dream. So the first day I got this machine, I have a lot of thinking, a lot of dreams. When I have a dream, I know I have a dream. At that time, I know I have a dream. I'm thinking. Do you know what that means? Why I have a dream at that time? Now you need to think, okay? When the brain lacks oxygen, your brain cell need to recover. They need oxygen to do the function. Since you do not have enough oxygen in your blood, the cell didn't recover. Right? That's natural. It won't recover. That's the reason the brain cell didn't function as supposedly. Didn't function as supposedly. Okay? That's the reason during the daytime you won't feel sleep, because during the night you fight for the oxygen all the time. And then since I have the machine on, then I start to dream. Then I know at that level of the oxygen that provide to me, I start to have enough oxygen, start to recover so I can think. Then the next day, I act normal. I feel more prosperous. Spirits is high emotionally. Okay? That's the fact. Then I have that machine. I do not know how to do it. Therefore, I started. This machine itself, what happened is, they have the computer chips, okay? This computer chip every day will send the data to this company. That company will send the data to my doctor. And then I can access that data too. So I know how well I did the day before, the night before. Okay, and here also has the filter. There's a filter in here. There's a filter in here. So the air coming is clean. The air coming is clean. So we have a humidifier, you have water coming. Now, I want to share with you when you put the water in here, they specifically say you cannot have well water, you cannot have tap water. You can have the bottled water, and you can have distilled water. He said the best will be distilled water. Why we want to use the distilled water? You imagine, you think, okay, why? Because distilled water, there's no mineral. so it's okay. Now for the well water, if it's not treated, maybe have a bacteria or something, so it will go through your lung directly, so it's not healthy. Now, why no tap water? Eric, do you know why no tap water?
Tap water is also kind of unpredictable. You can't quite tell what source it comes from.
The most of tap water, I think, my interpretation, okay, I think most of tap water put the chlorine in. You don't want to breathe the chlorine. That's the reason. That's my interpretation, okay? But he specifically said you need to avoid these two water. If for some reason if you have no water, then don't put on. It's okay. Without water, it's okay. And then this is heated. This is heated. So the go through the pipe, go through the nose, okay, and I can breathe. You will ask, how many kinds of equipment available for your breathe? Actually, two kinds. This is the equipment we can order, okay? One, just cover the nose, let the mouth close, okay? However, for certain people, when they breathe, they need to use mouth. This reason, there's another kind. You cover the nose and the mouth, just like this one. Right? It's just
You
nose.
flip the chart.
Hmm?
The words are backwards on the chart. Flip it. Thank you.
Okay. So that's the reason. Okay. So only two kinds. However, the doctor says, my physician says, you need to see me after use 1 month and see what happened. I have a friend. He said that during the night, he has this before, but during the night he moved too much, so he cannot have this. Therefore, he actually have surgery, okay, to open the channel, airway, and the nose and the throat. And I also have very close friends. The daughter have operation at age 2. They find this abnormally breathe. Therefore, they do a test. Then they realize the only thing they can do is open the airway in the throat. So that child has operation at age 2, open the tongue. So she never need to worry about it. In the beginning, I mentioned that the people start to have a snore, right, when they get older, and then this kind of apnea happened. I have very, very close friends. His wife, age 84, all of a sudden, she lost memory. She can not make a judgment. So it take then 3 months figure out because she has obstructive sleep apnea. After treated, she's okay. It's a hint to me that it might be related to the age. Then I'm thinking, probably because when you get old, the muscle relax, so block the airway. Okay. That's the interpretation. And the same thing for the people when we get older, those things happen. Well, after I tested, okay, I hooked up on Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, today is Tuesday, right? Then I figure out on Saturday how to log on the data. That's my result. Actual data, real data, you see? 324 today, I took, okay? My L score is 62. L score is 62. Later on I will explain L score, okay? And the day before I used 3.48 hours. Most of I didn't sleep. And then the mask says good, so there's no leak. And then now, event per hour. What does that mean, event per hour? That means somehow this machine can measure whether you breathe or not. If you didn't breathe, more than 10 seconds is registered as apnea. Now, if partially blocked, it's called hypopnea, hypopnea, okay?
Hypopnea.
Hypopnea?
Yeah, I think.
It's hypopnea.
I'm sorry, hypopnea.
Hypopnea, okay? That's hypopnea. So that they counted. Now, when I go back, when I do this test, when I in the sleeping lab, they say what happened for me is I stopped breathing 16 times. 16 times. And then my oxygen content is 76%. 76%. And regularly, normal, during the daytime, I just did the test, okay? Myself is 95, and regular people 90, 95, okay, easily. But during the sleep, so I was fighting. I don't have enough oxygen. So how many times? I have the mask off 8 times. That's Monday. Do you know why? Because I just want test, okay? I put on and stop and go somewhere and go on because I need to do something. This reason I keep going to take the mask off intentionally. Not that if mask is not here, then it will show. Okay, that's good for this machine. Okay. The last one is they calculated the total air score. Then you will ask me what's the total air score means. We will talk about that later. Okay. Let me go back this number one by one. The first one, sorry, is hard to see, okay? This is the score. This is score, okay? 27, 28, 29. So I start to know how to use this machine now. So my score is go up now. Okay, 3 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay? Still not good enough, because only 62. Hopefully I can get 100%. The second information is hour. Event, that means how many times I start breathing during my sleep. Okay? And here, in Saturday, I have about 6, almost 7, okay? Then Sunday, my is very low.
Very good.
Okay? And the Monday is very high, so it will show. Then another one, the air score. My air score go up. Just one. So previous is not air score. Previous is how many hours I used. Okay. This one is how many hours I used. This one is air score. So I actually go up. My air score go up. Okay. So fortunately, the purpose is got 100%. Now, what's the air score? Air score is calculated based on how many times I take off the mask, how many times I stop breathing, okay? How good the seal is. The calculate got an air score. Okay. Now, conclusion. Obstructive sleep apnea I already share with you the symptoms. Okay. Now, if you have this kind of symptom, you do need to watch. It will affect your performance. Maybe your study, maybe your work, okay, or taking care of children, whatsoever. However, there is a cure. There is one machine. This machine, when I went to there for 2 hours training how to use this machine, one lady, she said, "Oh, I have that for 30 years." I said, "Oh." Another guy said, "I have that for 20 years. I said, "Oh." Then I stopped. Then we asked, "Why you stopped?" He said, "Because at that time, the machine is very, very loud, and then we cannot sleep. So I stopped. Right now, I think I need to have it." So he come back. I said, "Oh." I said, "Oh, okay." Now this machine will send the data so you can watch it. Now my goal is to reach, for myself, to reach 100%. Unfortunately, if possible, I will sleep all over the night for 7 to 8 hours sleep, continuous. That's my goal. Now, if still didn't solve the problem, then the sleeping doctor will check what's going on, then do something else. Right now, that's the situation. And I share with you my experience, my study. That's all. Toastmaster.
Thank you.